Assalam Aleikum. Today I'd like to talk about 5 different types of annoying people and how to deal with them. So one type of person that comes to mind is the type of person who thinks that he or she is always correct, that there's no chance that they could be wrong. I'm just going to speak in plural tense for ease instead of saying he and she. They never want to even fathom the possibility that they made a mistake or that they have room for error just like any other human being does. So these people never apologize for some reason, and I think about these things a lot because it bothers me to see people like this. At the end of the day, we're all human beings and to err is human. So for people to refuse to accept that they are capable of making a mistake, it's almost as though they believe they're superior to others, or they're not human, or they believe that they aren't. I'm not sure if this is just the cultural mindset that some people have, where they believe that if they're older than you, then you just have to respect them at all times and there's no way that they're wrong in any regard. I'm not saying not to respect your elders, you should, but respect is a two-way street. So respect is given and taken. You can't just take respect and not give any. Even the Prophet ﷺ taught us to have respect for the elders and to treat the young ones with kindness. So to me, I take it as treat everyone with respect and kindness, whether they're older than you or younger than you. Just because someone's younger than you doesn't mean that their opinions aren't valid or that they are inferior to you. We're all human beings and we were all created equal, and the only difference amongst us is our piety. Whoever does better deeds, as much as we know that we can't get into heaven just through our deeds without the mercy of Allah. So of course His mercy is necessary, but we still have to strive to do good deeds on our own. So not to go off topic on a tangent, but I'm not sure if this is that cultural mindset or if it's something deeper than that, that they just think that since they're older, they're wiser. But that's not necessarily true. I mean, there are even animals that live a lot longer than humans do. For example, a turtle lives up to 80 years. There are certain birds that live that long or longer. I don't think that just because someone is older, it means that they're always correct or that they're wiser, just because there's a saying that older people have wisdom. We should be open to correction from anyone and everyone, regardless of who they are to us in relation or age, whether they're younger than us or older than us. If I make a mistake, please feel free to correct me, and I should accept it. I should ask for an explanation if I really don't think that I'm at fault. But once you explain it to me, I will accept it because I'm only human and there's always room for improvement. The way I like to deal with such people is to just limit my interactions as much as possible in order to preserve my own sanity. If I were to continue dealing with such people who think that they're never wrong, they're always right, they're older, therefore what they say goes, I would go crazy. So if you can cut them out, cut them out. If not, let's say they're family or whatever the case is, and you have to maintain ties, just try to limit your interactions and keep it formal and polite. That's all. The second type of person you have is the ones who don't return your phone calls, nor do they reply to your text messages for weeks, regardless of what social platform it's on. I'm pretty sure we all use our phone at least once a day. And if you don't check Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever the case is, I'm pretty sure you check the message section of your phone every day, at least once, let's say. Even if you're not addicted to your phone, at least once. So these people will go weeks without replying to you. Or if their read messages are on, sometimes they won't even click your message, so you won't know that they read it. But you know, obviously they've been on their phone, so they've seen it. Or even there are other situations where people have their read messages on and they'll still click it and let you know that they read it, and they still won't respond to you. I find that really rude. I mean, I understand that everyone has their own lives and everyone is busy with one thing or the other, but I'm pretty sure we all have a minute or two to respond to someone, especially if that person is reaching out to us to see how we're doing. I'm not going to lie, I struggle with phone calls. I'm like very awkward talking on the phone. That's another reason why I'm doing these videos, because I know that you can't see my face and you don't know who I am unless you know who I am, then you know. But just talking to the camera is very difficult for me. It feels awkward and unnatural. And just like that, talking on the phone, I just get anxiety about talking on the phone. So I usually try to just resort to texting rather than phone calls. But I do need to work on that, and that is an issue, especially with the older generation. They know how to text, and they do text, but I guess a phone call has a different type of touch than a text message does. So for the older generation, definitely phone calls are the way to go. So again, off topic, but I'm not going to lie, I have issues with phone calls as well, but I do return them when I see it. Or if I'm unable to in the moment, if I miss the phone call, I will send the person a text message saying, sorry for missing your phone call. I'll call you as soon as I can. So these are the types of people who will do that to you, but if they were to ever text you or call you and you didn't return their call during that same day or their text message, they'll go complaining to everyone in their family. And then that person that they complain to, whether it's their parent or their sibling or whoever, will kind of like throw it in there when talking to you, like, oh, this person texted you, why didn't you reply? I just find that so interesting that, hey, I've been messaging you and texting you, checking up on you, and you didn't reply to me for months at a time, weeks at a time, and the one time I was busy and couldn't reply to you, you have to go tell the world that you texted me and I didn't respond. I just feel like these people don't see themselves. It's a set of double standards. It doesn't matter how they treat you as long as you treat them correctly. I mean, it wasn't intentional. I wasn't trying to get revenge or something. Like, I saw their text and I was like, oh, you didn't reply to me for months? I'm gonna make you wait. No, that's not what I was doing. I just got busy. I didn't get to reply right away. Or maybe by the time I saw my phone, it was really late at night and that person usually keeps their phone on loud. I don't want to reply at this time because it may wake them up or disturb them. So I always think about these things, and maybe I shouldn't and I should just reply, but I don't want to disturb anyone. If they complain to you and then you for once in your life complain to them that, hey, I reached out to you and you didn't reply, they'll use the busy card. They'll say, I was busy doing things. I didn't get a chance. It's always the generic busy statement. But when it comes to you, they'll have the nerve to ask you, what were you so busy with? What do you do all day? Why is it that the busy card is okay for you to use, but I can't use that same excuse? It just doesn't make sense to me. Not that I want to use that excuse or that I ever do, but it just kills me to see these people who barely have anything going on in their lives for them keep saying that they're busy. But when it comes to other people who are probably busier than them, they'll question them. What are you busy with? I mean, it doesn't even matter who's busy with what. You shouldn't make that excuse. If someone matters to you, you'll reply to them. You'll find time for them. Nobody's too busy. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. So if it's that one time or two times or whatever rare exceptions that you are busy and something comes up, that's totally understandable. I mean, we're not in the court of law here. It's okay. But if you're going to just constantly use that busy excuse, I mean, that's not cool. How I deal with these people, again, is limit my interactions. When you limit your interactions, there's a chance that they may or may not ask you, like, hey, what's up? Why are you being distant? And if they do ask you, you can explain to them that it's because of your behavior. I feel pushed away or ignored or unimportant, and that's why I decided to keep more to myself so I don't bother you. But the issue is these people might, in the moment, be like, oh, wow, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel that way, yada, yada, yada. But don't expect much from them. At least in my experience with some of the people I've dealt with, they don't change. They just keep doing their own thing, and then they always have their own excuse for themselves. So just don't think much of it. Then you have the annoying type of people who will hurt you, literally mistreat you, ignore you, pretend you don't exist, out of sight, out of mind, that type of thing. But once they see you, they act like nothing happened, like everything's totally fine and you're best buddies. That just baffles me. Do you not remember everything that just happened between us? Do you not remember how you treated me and how I felt? Or did you not even try to think about how I felt? Honestly, these are the types of people who you can't reason with. Logic doesn't work. So your best bet is just take it for whatever it is. Try to make the best of it, but don't think about it too much. Don't think of it as, oh wow, we were bonding today. Wow, our relationship is definitely improving. No, don't think of it as that. Take it for what it is. Just a day you spent with someone and it happened to be okay. That's it. If you sit there and think about it and try to think of how your relationship is improving and all of that, you're in for a ride. It's like the roller coaster. One day they're up, one day they're down. And it may be difficult to deal with these people's ups and downs. I mean, for me personally, it's very difficult for me to think that I have a relationship with someone and then that person hurts me or is rude to my face, doesn't show that they care about me. All of that stuff, I sit there and I overthink, and there were days I would cry about it and hurt myself, and there are still days that I do overthink these things. But then once I see that person, they just act like nothing happened. It makes me think, wow, like my pain means nothing to you. It's almost like you're so carefree that it's dangerous. That's the type of carelessness that no one should aspire to when it starts to affect other people. So whatever good times you have with that person, great, enjoy it. But don't think of it as, wow, we're really moving forward. Just limit your interactions when you can. I feel like I keep saying limit your interactions, but there's literally no other solution to it. You can explain to them how they hurt you and all of that, but if they're the type of person who doesn't even see what's wrong with how they're treating you, then I highly doubt it's going to change anything. The fourth type of annoying person would be the one who's constantly picking at someone. It doesn't matter who it is, there just has to be someone that they pick on and put down. So this person will put someone down all the time, but the only difference is that they'll actually feel bad about it, and you can tell through their actions. They might kind of get quiet afterwards, or they'll try to pacify you in a way, even though you haven't told them that you're hurt or you haven't reacted in such a way that you would show them that you're offended. They would do something to show that they feel bad for what they said a minute ago. And these are the types of people who, if I do tell them, like, hey, you hurt my feelings, you upset me with what you said, they'll actually apologize. So that's great, because for you not to apologize, it stems from arrogance. You think that you don't have to apologize to anyone because you're above everyone. But this type of person, maybe it's just out of habit, or they can't help themselves. Maybe they think that this is just trying to make the party fun or something. Hey, let's laugh about something. But you should never make someone the butt of your jokes. So if you do vocalize your concerns to this person and they apologize, that goes to show that they don't have anything bad deep down. They don't intend to harm you. So just view them as the clown. Don't overthink what they say, just laugh it off. But if it does bother you, don't keep quiet. You should tell them in a polite and respectful way that, hey, whatever you said just upset me for XYZ reason, and explain it, and I'm sure they should understand. The last and most annoying type of person would be the unwanted advisor. This is the person who thinks that they're above everyone else, their wisdom exceeds everyone's, and you can't survive without their knowledge. If you have kids, they'll ask you why you have this many kids. Why don't you have more? Why do you have this many? You have way too many kids. Or they'll teach you how to raise your kids, how to dress them, what to feed them. Or if you don't have kids, they'll poke their nose into your business and ask you, why don't you have any kids? Do you have any problems? Do you need to go see a doctor? Is there something wrong with you? Completely unnecessary and unwanted advice. It's not even advice, it's more like probing. This gives them a way to have the upper hand, because by pushing their advice and their desires and their plans down your throat, they feel like, yes, I got my way. I think the best way to deal with this is to just draw your boundaries sooner than later. I mean, the longer you go allowing this to happen, the longer they get used to treating you this way, and the harder it will be to stop them in the future once you do decide to draw your lines. So do it in a respectful way. Just tell them, hi, Miss Advisor, Mr. Advisor. Actually, don't call them that. I'm just using that because I don't have a name for the person. Hello, Mr. Adams. Thank you so much for your advice. I know that it's coming from a good place and you're just trying to help me, but I think that my spouse and I have a good handle on things, and if we do need your advice, we will be sure to reach out to you. Thank you. Actually, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe it'll come off sarcastic. I don't know. You know how to say it yourself. Just have a dialogue. Just make sure and just have a rundown. Think to yourself, is what I'm saying true? Is it being done in a respectful way? Will this person take it the wrong way? Hey, if this is the type of person who's going to take anything and everything you take the wrong way, then that's not your problem. But I'm just saying in terms of normal people, would a normal, decent, rational person take this the wrong way? Am I being rude? Am I being sarcastic? Just think of all those things and let them know that you appreciate the good intentions for you, but you don't really need their advice at this time. So the solution to all of these annoying people, I think, would be for them to just learn to use the golden rule. Or even as our Prophet Muhammad taught us, peace be upon him, that you should treat people the way you want to be treated. It's not that hard. You put yourself in their shoes. Think to yourself, how would I feel if this person treated me like this? Oh, I wouldn't like it. Okay, maybe I shouldn't treat them this way either. It's not that hard. It just baffles me how many people out there will mistreat others and treat them in ways that they definitely wouldn't allow themselves to be treated. But they have no issues doing it to other people. It's just mind-boggling. It's not that hard. Follow the golden rule and everything will be golden. All right? Thank you and have a great day.